Hey guys, ArchieLuxury here on the ArchieLuxury show. We're here and we're beaming into everybody's lounge room. What's going on, guys? Today we're talking, will watches still be popular in 50 years time? I don't understand, JR. What happened to HR? HR, JR, what the fuck went wrong? Let's ask him now.
Hey,
what
Paul.
happened to HR? Why JR? Can you explain the change? That's all I want to know.
No, of course. So, firstly, Paul, long-time listener, first-time panelist.
No, you don't understand. I'm asking you the question. Your name went from HR to JR. What is the difference?
So, basically, Paul, what it is, I was on Marcelo's stream, and he started calling me.
Okay, I think I don't understand this garbage that he's spruiting there. It's, yeah, guys, let's get a few invites out there. No point having crappy panelists. I want A grade. A grade. Let's see if we can get one to Clive. Clive's A grade. We'll give it a shot. I think that's just having a look here. I can't get the Tusa on. Tusa, Punky Brewster talk. I tried that. It's very hard to get him on there. Today's topic, will wristwatches still be popular in 50 years? Now, 50 years? Well, I'm in my early 50s. So, you know, that's going back to the mid-70s. Mid-70s is 50 years ago. Will they have a life? Will they have a role to play? That is the question. We've got our first super chat. And we've got JR joining us. First super chat from Frank B. $2. Nice watch, Arch. Looking stunning. Thank you with the sweater. Thank you indeed. That's the Zenith El Primero Open Heart. Now, why did you change from HR to JR? What was with the change?
Well, it's because when I was on Marcelo's stream, he started calling me JR. So I changed it to JR. Thought it was quite funny.
Okay.
But, Paul, I'm having a bit of a hard time at the moment. Can I ask you a quick question?
About what?
Yes or no? Well, okay, so I was out with, well, it's about oysters. So I was out with the guys from work last night and I broke my oyster virginity and I've just had diarrhea for about 24 hours. Have you had that? Am I going to die? Am I going to get Vibrio? What do you think, Paul?
This was the same shtick you ran yesterday.
I wasn't on yesterday. Listen, Paul, I've generally been on the toilet for about 24 hours.
Okay, it's very, very... Is this comedy or is this garbage? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Is this comedy? Is this garbage? What is this guy doing? I don't know. Don't understand this dude. Really quite weird. I don't understand why you want to come on with that sort of topic. You're a troll, aren't you?
No, genuinely, Paul, I've been quite unwell after eating those oysters.
You have nothing valuable to give us. You just want to come here and troll, don't you?
No, come on, Paul, don't be like that. Paul, listen, I know you've eaten a lot of different foods. No, can I just finish, Paul, please?
Do you have anything to contribute? Do you have anything to contribute to this show? besides your negativity?
I'm not negative. I want to gain your expertise, Paul. You're quite a seasoned traveller. You know.
Honestly, why are you using a photo of Narc? Why don't you use your own photo? Can I ask you that?
I'll use myself. Okay, hold on. There we go. But yeah, I've had a lot of diarrhea, Paul.
Okay,
what do?
I don't understand why you come on and talk. Like, what are you trying to spruik to us here?
I'm just asking. You've probably eaten a lot of things like that.
What the hell's wrong with that guy? He's nuts. The guy is nuts. He's nuts. JR is nuts. He's out of his mind. I don't know what to say. Just nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Well, I'm sorry, Paul. I'm just suffering. Do you want me to talk about something else? Do you want me to talk about something else? I'm sorry.
What's going on? You're talking about a promotion.
Yeah, so I had my interview, Paul. Go on, ask me how it went, Paul.
So this was at the same place you work at. How long have you been there?
Nearly 3 years. Go on, ask me how the interview went, Paul.
Nearly 3 years. See, you keep changing the tune all the time.
Ask me how the interview went, Paul.
I'm not sure I want to know.
Oh, so very nice.
So you wore the bluesy?
Of course I fucking did. I wore the bluesy in my wedding suit and you know, and a tie. I look the business, Paul.
Some new talent is coming on. I don't know who this is. Can you just turn your camera on?
Let him on. That's my friend. Let him on, Paul.
Hello?
Full screen. Full screen.
Full screen. Full screen. Hey, let him on, Paul. Come on. Come on. You got no guests. Let him on, big boy. What do you make of that, Paul?
No.
It's easy.
Yes, I don't want.
He's quality. Have you seen his new Daytona?
I don't care. I got some good guests here. We got Ken coming on. Ken, thank you so much for coming on here. Ken, I want to ask you something. Okay, this is today's topic. Will wristwatches still be popular in 50 years' time?
100%.
Now, to put that in perspective, 50 years, that's when most of us who watch this show were born. I was born in the early 70s. Wristwatches were a big thing in the 70s. Obviously, you had the quartz crisis. What do you think in 50 years' time? Could these fuckers be gone? Will it all be Apple smart watches? What do you think?
I don't think so.
I must tell you, Ken, I'm in Asia, and Hong Kong, Singapore used to be synonymous with the date just. The date just. Every man or lady. You even had lower. I don't want to put anyone down with their job, but say like a doorman, right, at a hotel. He would wear a Rolex, okay?
Sure.
And he saved hard to get a Rolex. The question what I'm finding now in Asia is a lot of these people now are not wearing that Datejust. They're wearing a smartphone, smartwatch, you know, whether it's an Apple or a Garmin or it's quite rapid descent. What do you think? Is this what's the future for watches?
Well, I say that, you know, they are jewelry versus like, you know, a phone shrunken down and put on your wrist. By the way, sorry, I have a little bit of a sore throat today.
No, that's perfectly okay.
I feel that watches will be around in 50 years, no problem. And speaking of that, by the way, again, sorry for my voice. Look what I just acquired. Oh, can you see it? Yeah. It's that Doxa that my friend Warren had. Oh, upside down. There you go.
Yeah.
The Doxa that my friend Warren. Oh, now it's upside down. No,
well, now it's upside down. Sorry.
Anyway, I just I asked him to hold it for me, and he did, and so he came over today, and so that's mine now.
It's lovely, little dainty little Doxa.
As you described, it is the lower end of luxury, but it is cool, and I love it because Doxa is only known now for divers, right?
Yep, you're right. They have the. Tell me, Ken, you're a IT man. I was in IT myself. Why is it I'm getting so many feeds in Google that are saying to me layoffs, 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 tech layoffs?
Because it's happening. It's for sure happening. Actually, in journalism too. Unfortunately, a friend of mine was one of the 300 that was just laid off from the Washington Post, and he was a journalist.
The Washington Post, that was a legendary. That's owned by Bezos, isn't it?
Correct. It's owned by the Amazon guy.
And they were asking him to come in and not. Why didn't he do anything or respond? Is it?
I mean, there are a lot of theories that maybe he was going to kill it all the way. But I say that right now the winds are blowing for the billionaires to support our current president, and so he didn't like the journalism from the Washington Post. I mean, to be honest. But again, watches I think will exist and still have a
Will
place.
Newspapers exist?
I don't know about that. I mean, I read all my
Let me say something to you. In my country, I'm in Australia, okay? So we're 30 million people. We're a tenth of the size of America, roughly, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently in China, Shenzhen, in a city which is almost the size of Australia's population, one city, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The thing I want to ask you is, with all of this stuff that's happening, years ago, when the internet started getting wild, the big thing, two things that newspapers did were classified ads for cars, like I had a car section,
mm-hmm.
and they had a massive real estate section.
Right, and that's not their method of selling any longer or making money.
It's gone online.
So I pay $5. I pay $5 a month for a local newspaper. I don't get the paper. I donate $5 a month. It's a little bit, but it's enough to make me feel good that I'm helping a local journalism source. They help me when I need to vote. They help me understand where everyone is in local elections.
And we definitely need good journalism.
Yes.
We need unbiased, the problem is it's like music. There's a generation of people now who think, why would you pay for music? Why would you know what I'm saying?
There are people that say,
and I'll be honest with you, I don't find Spotify. Can I give you an example of horror story? So I recently sold my BMW, okay?
Right. And you canceled your subscription in AI. I remember you telling me about that.
So basically, I immediately, as soon as I sold the car, I thought, do I really need Spotify? No, because if I want to listen to music at home, I've got YouTube Premium, which is basically YouTube without the ads. I will find the music on YouTube.
Yeah, there's an app that'll help you with that too.
So anyhow, I canceled it. Then the billing time came up. It actually billed me.
Right.
Now, I actually got billed through PayPal.
Right.
So I immediately put a complaint in there. But before I did that, I tried to go to Spotify to talk to somebody, like, have they got a live chat? All it is bots giving me. Right. And the thing is, the question I had was, it couldn't answer it, because basically what's happened is I canceled. I've got a letter from Spotify, an email from Spotify to say, you've canceled your service.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, it billed me. Now, there's nobody I could talk to. And
did you try?
They jump onto their Spotify Twitter account and send them an inquiry. What the fucking bullshit? What a sloppy. No, I don't actually have a X account, but I'm actually fighting it through PayPal, because that was the payment system. So I've put in a complaint to PayPal. We'll see what happens. I think I'll just wait for that to run its course. But the thing I can't believe is this AI, it didn't answer what I was asking. Do you understand? It didn't answer in the least what I was asking, right?
Right.
And Spotify, it's not that cheap. It was costing me $20 for a month, right? US. It really isn't that cheap. None of this stuff has really been that revolutionary or cheap. It's actually quite expensive. I thought, fuck, that's actually dear. In the past, you would normally buy cassettes or records or CDs of the music you wanted, and you'd have it forever. You pay the fee and you've got it forever. But with this subscription-based model, you're paying for it every month, even though you may be listening to the same stuff month in, month out.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree. And this, radio still exists too, by the way, and there are free services too, like iHeartRadio and all that. I agree with you. And I've never tried to cancel Spotify. I used to have Pandora because I'm old. And yes, to whoever commented, I'm wearing a pink shirt and a red hat, but I don't consider myself a communist. But anyway, I just looked over the chat, which I shouldn't do.
No, the chat is. Tell me this: what do you seriously think? I look at the current world situation, right?
Yeah.
And I think the world is really fucking confused. Like I'm kind of pleased. I'm coming to the end of my employment period, and
are you going to move to China?
I haven't decided yet, actually.
Is there a path for Aussies to move there?
Actually, let me tell you this. I can't move to Thailand because Thailand is very strict with their visas now. You used to be able to come in on a tourist visa and you could stay as long as you wanted, really. But China, they have a very clear path. You can easily get a multiple entry visa for a set period. Like you could get a 2-year visa where you can stay 90 days at a time. You've just then got to do a border crossing, and then you can stay another 90 days. So you can get these visas very easily. I'm having a look. I haven't rushed into a decision. But Ken, I got to tell you, IT was sprouted as you'll always have a job in IT. You'll always be employed.
Sure.
Ageism wasn't a thing in IT because it was so new. They were so desperate. Anybody who knew anything about IT got a job.
So ageism is maybe not a thing to get for like HR and humans because there's laws about that, but they'll turn a blind eye to AI looking at your resume and turning you down. So I think that's like humans allowing AI to discriminate because they can get away with it. And I think
but AI isn't, like in my case with the Spotify, my issue is unresolved. AI has not solved the thing. If AI if I put in a request and said, AI, I cancelled on such and such a date, here's a copy of your email, and you guys billed me again, and AI came back and said, very sorry, Mr. Pluta, here's a refund, have a nice day, I would say, oh, AI was great, it solved my problem. But it refuses to refund any money. You understand what I mean? It refuses to do anything.
It's never going to be any worse than it is today. And that's the thing. It will get better slowly.
But it's not good. It's crap. It's not good. If I'm paying a premium, like Spotify is not cheap.
I hear you.
I expect more.
But then again, I have this one watch. It's a cipher watch. If you show it under UV light, then it shows characters, and it's a Jefferson polymorphic. Anyway, it's a cryptographic tool. I didn't tell AI anything about it. I showed it the message. I showed it the watch, and it figured out the solution without me giving it any instruction. I'm saying that things will slowly improve. Improves in the wrong word. AI will get better. It's the issues though are energy use, just the industrial nature that the industrial requirements for AI to be successful, what it means for humans, what it means for us. I mean, I don't live in a socialist state, right? I live in a republic, and if AI replaces people, and we don't have a good enough social structure, then what are those people going to live off of? How are they going to survive? So I don't, again, I'm not trying to be like, as someone said, a communist here. I'm just talking more about, people will need to be taken care of if there is no place for them in the workforce.
Well, the problem is the cost of housing and living is going up quite significantly. How are they going to survive?
I hear you.
And the big thing with AI is they're saying that the employment is no longer like a pyramid structure. It's like there's very little entry-level jobs. AI is cleaning that up. So if you don't have those entry-level jobs, you then don't have people to go into middle management and get more. You know what I mean? You sort of
have that middle management kind of folk. I agree with you. And I think that's, that goes back to what you were saying. AI is not very good right now. Well, entry-level folks aren't always very good right now. And so the concern will be as it gets better, what is that going to be like? I mean,
and I'll be honest with you, a lot of AI videos coming out, they're fucking garbage. They are awful how it's putting videos and stuff together.
Yeah. Anyway, I just came in to say hi and show you the doxa because I think it's really cool. I didn't want to bug you, and also I don't want to have your. I am in Portland. Yes, I'm in Portland, but I'm originally from Illinois. By the way, I'm going to the chat for a second just because I don't know. I don't know. People are interesting, especially in the Archie troll zone. I have material for them. Hold on, I have something to share. If I can find. Maybe I took it away. Anyway, your book came. I have your book.
Oh, fantastic. Ken, that you think watches will have a future, right?
Yes.
What are people going to do if AI takes all their jobs? Can I ask you that?
Again, that's the thing. That's the question, because that's not what Elon Musk is talking about. He's just saying that people won't have to have jobs, but then how are they going to be housed and fed? What is that going to be like?
How are they going to buy Teslas? I mean, the whole reason Ford introduced a minimum wage was so his workers could buy cars.
Fair enough, but back then a minimum wage was a lot different, and of course he also provided housing for them. So he created towns for them, and and then that's where labor started. That's where the labor unions started to organize and actually create real living wages for people instead of these somewhat slave wages. But anyway, serious stuff.
Ken, the big thing is you compare, you could have a postman's wage in the 60s or 70s, and that postman could support a wife in a modest house and some children.
Yeah. So what's the difference between a postman today and a pizza?
What's the difference?
A pizza can feed a family of 5.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Why has it gone that way, Ken?
I mean, honestly, a postman in the U.S. is still a good civil servant job for now, as long as you can get your 30 in. But what was the question, sir?
So I was just saying, why is it so horrible? Why has it gone that way? Why do you think?
I mean, we're all shits, right? I mean, and I think some of it to me is like the greatest generation's gone. The folks that fought in World War II and everything, and the people that were at home. And I think that we've forgotten some things. But also, the one thing I always balance is everything shit because it's shit, or is it all shit because I'm older and I'm just going through the same experiences that my parents went through at this stage in their life? When I think about Vietnam in the 60s, was it all just shit for them, or is it is it cyclical because of our age, or is it really because it's so really bad? I don't know. I don't have that answer. I think about that a lot.
I tell you one thing for sure, Ken. I would be very reluctant to encourage one of my sons to go to Vietnam War. That was a fucking disaster.
Right. I mean, my kid didn't have to enlist. My kid didn't get drafted, So, I mean, he's got a cell phone. I don't know. I mean, medicine's better than it used to be. You have a better chance of surviving cancer nowadays.
Well, the drones are terrible now. Drones, you see that in Ukraine. That's a horrible war. What do you think?
Are drones terrible, or are they why Ukraine's still alive, still not part of Russia? Again, these are the I mean, warfare changes and evolves for sure. My degree's in history, so yeah. And
what did you specialize in? What part of history were you?
So
I did modern and ancient history at high school. I love history.
I had a good teacher in that, but my focus was more military history, World War II. I used to volunteer on a B-17 bomber out of Arizona and a B-25. So I used to fly around on the B-25 a lot. I've been to Beale Air Force Base, and I've gotten to do the drive along behind the U-2 while I was doing touch and go. So
yeah,
man, your folks are trollers, man. It's hilarious. Thick skin required. Then again, I don't care. It's just interesting.
Yeah, they are quite nasty, aren't they?
My minor is in applied computer science, small computer system sequence as well. So lots of words just means that I was taught how to code in COBOL, mainframe stuff. So back in the day.
Yeah. It's what age do you want to? How long before you retire yourself, Ken?
So I work for some startups right now, and so if things go well, then I'll retire or minimize my work. If things don't go well, then I'll stick around until I can get a good chunk of Social Security. I mean, my daughter's got a house and there's a nice backyard, and we can put a tiny house back there if we want to. Plus, I'm a UK citizen as well, so we have options maybe in Scotland. We're going to go over in April, look around. At least I get some health care that way.
Good idea, Ken.
Go ahead.
You went to Berkeley, didn't you?
No, my eldest went to Berkeley. I went to Illinois State University, and I didn't graduate until I was 38. I worked for Honeywell, and they made me finish.
Honeywell, see, that's I actually did some contracting work for Honeywell.
Yeah.
They're not really a consumer product. They do
they have a lot of divisions. Honeywell is now Allied Signal. Allied Signal bought Honeywell and took the name because it was softer and more touchy-feely than Allied Signal. So
yes.
Yeah. I worked there after that. So in Arizona, where Honeywell used to be, a lot of the folks were in New Jersey, where Allied Signal was headquartered. So,
see, the chat is vicious. They are just nasty. They are nasty. JT, why don't you get off your fucking ass? Why don't you come on if you're such a fucking smart ass? Or better still, why don't you super chat?
I'll just say this: if your kid gets into Berkeley for free, doesn't have to pay a dime, gets a studio on the quad because of their skills and talent, you feel bad? You think that's bad? I'm sorry. My kid went to Berkeley for free and got a double major with honors. I'm very proud of that. And
these people are jealous. They're jealous. That's all it is.
I didn't pay a dime. They went to junior college for a while there in the UC system, and then they got so many endorsements from their faculty that they got into Berkeley for free. So, pick a finger.
Jimmy, if you're coming on, put your camera on so I can see who you are. I like this. This guy definitely voted Kamala. What? Do you think Trump is the savior? Is Trump working out well? Is it working out well with Trump, hey?
He doesn't even know what planet he's on anymore. Must he poops himself all the time. So
I was a Trump supporter, and I think it was a mistake. I think he's a lunatic.
I mean, I'm not going to vote for a guy who was the apprentice of Roy Cohn. Sorry.
It's tell you what, this but
you know,
some very nasty comments going through on the streams there. That's just how it is.
It's fine. Everyone can have an opinion, just like they can have an asshole.
They're like assholes. Everyone's got one, you know.
Yep, it's fine. You know,
we've got a super chat. Thank God, we got a $2 super chat. M16, $2. Sucker cork panel.
Oh, not my thing, despite the pink. So, but in your dreams, maybe.
Yeah, just nasty.
It's okay. At least I gave you some money, man.
Uzi, see, that guy who sent that comment, he's 5'3". He's got short man syndrome. See, that's why he acts so angry like that. It's because he's 5'3". And I had him on the stream 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And I said, let me guess, you're 5'3", aren't you?
You know,
did that cause
I'm sorry that people, if people have anger and they have to get it out some way, this doesn't hurt anybody. Doesn't hurt me.
Yes.
Do what you need to do.
Ken, the future, is it good? Is it bright, or is it disappointing? How do you feel yourself?
I mean, I think the future has always got the one thing that we all share. You know, it's got the end. But to me, it's about the journey. So I really enjoy, just every day as best I can. I don't know. I mean, like they said in the Matrix, we're the virus, right?
Yes.
So who knows?
That's exactly it, Ken. We never know. I love the Doxer. What sort of strap are you going to whack it on?
So it's a 17-inch lug-to-lug, 17 millimeter, lug-to-lug. So I don't have anything in-house, but I'll probably put a suede on, maybe a brown suede, something like that. I already started looking. I'm probably going to get it minorly serviced because it feels a little odd inside. It's keeping okay time. I have a time grapher, and it's like plus 12 seconds or minus 12 seconds, I forget. Not bad for something that's never been lubricated, like a lot of people in your chat. Oh, I try. I'm not good at it, but
Yes. Look at this. He's even responded saying he's 5'7". Okay. 6 feet is the cutoff in America, Uzi. Remember that. 6 foot.
I'm 6'1". Plus, there's my height too.
Hold it against you,
I try. I'm here all night. Try the veal.
Yeah, it's a tough audience tonight. Like, there's a lot of. I honestly think I was just talking to someone yesterday about the whole streaming thing. A couple years ago, this business was completely different, and it's changed a lot. We've got Chief Tit, $5. This is for some lift shoes with much affection. Thank you. That is so sweet to do that.
Yeah.
It's the job apocalypse. Do you think it's the job apocalypse is now?
I'm concerned. I mean, I think this wave is going to hurt. Yeah, I think people are going to suffer, and I don't like that. And so if that makes me a liberal dork, then that's fine, because I care about people, even people that say I'm a liberal dork. I look out for my family, and then I look out for people around my family, and then I look out for everyone else.
But isn't it nice to be able to have differences of opinion?
It's fine.
I think this society, a society that allows you to have your own opinion, isn't that a good thing?
So that's where I'm concerned about our current administration, to be honest with you, is that they don't like other people to have opinions that are different from them. There's a show here called that used to be here called the Colbert Show. Now he's got a variety show kind of thing, an interview show. But he used to have a show where he pretended to be, he's a comedian, he pretended to be an ultra conservative. And he said something that was funny to me. He said, I believe in freedom of religion. I believe that everyone should worship Jesus Christ as they see fit. In other words, you know, he doesn't really believe in freedom of religion. He believes in freedom of his religion. And so I think that the problem here is that people that think that they're free because of who they elected are only free if they agree with everything that that person or that administration says. And I think that's the conflict. And I think that's the scary part right now. But I don't mean this to be a political commentary. The trolls are kind of pulling me in a little bit.
I see. Interesting, Ken.
And
tell me this: 2026. What dream watches do you hope to get? What do you hope to add? What do you hope to do?
So I just sold a Christopher Ward today, and for a little bit more than I paid for it. I was pretty happy about that. I mean, I don't have a Grail per se. I mean, I kind of own.
You sold it on Facebook. How did you sell that? Tell us.
I sold on eBay. And yeah, I sell on eBay. Okay. I sell a lot of Quartz Crisis watches to then buy nice watches, you know. That keeps the wife happy that I don't dip into our own money. So, but I mean, I think to me, I'm, you know, being a more lower end watch guy, you know, I mean, I can pick up a Chinese watch with just right here, you know, titanium quartz, and yet has a clear case back, which I think is kind of cool. Whatever it takes my eye, I don't have a thing. I mean, I'd love a modern Doxa. I mean, there's a lot of watches I'd like to have. Like I'd like to have a nice moon phase Longines, but I might. It just depends on what memory I can tie to that and where I'm at bank account wise, you know, because I have learned a lot about tying memories to watches. So some of these cruise ships have a watch on them, and that's because I bought them on that cruise ship, and so I have that memory. And so I like that.
I must say this, Ken, I'm really proud that you're an American. You give me hope for America's future. You know? I am a Trump. I was a dyed-in-the-wool Trump supporter. Let me say that to you. I'm happy.
What do you think now?
I honestly, I think Trump has been I think even the Republicans don't like Trump, to be completely honest with you. The only thing they like about him is he's very popular, but I'm just waiting for his administration to run its course, and then we can get back to normal programming.
Yeah, by the way, I'm from Chicagoland originally, so I've witnessed corruption in the Democratic Party. So I'm not a party line guy.
Politics is a dirty game.
Well, the Windy City is called windy because of the politics, not because it's windy, although it is very windy. And you know, I don't like corruption.
I was a Dukakis fan. You remember Dukakis?
Yeah, actually, I wasn't a Dukakis fan. I was a Perot fan for a while. Even when he was crazy, I voted for him, just because that was an actual businessman. You know what I mean? But I never voted for Bill Clinton as an example. You know, my dad was a Reagan guy. You know, and there was honor in the party back then. There's a picture of my dad playing golf with Jack Nicklaus. So Jack Nicklaus, you know, he's a strong. He plays golf with Trump all the time now. So I wonder what my dad would think right now. My dad being a kind of a Reagan kind of Republican guy from back in the day, strong businessman, you know, self-made, you know, very proud of my dad and what he created and what he did and where he's all the, you know, he had a great life and he was a great man. So, you know, anyway.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hi, Archie. I'm doing okay.
We got Ken on the stream today. Ken.
For a little bit longer, not much longer.
Yeah, I don't know if we've officially been introduced. I was on the other day when you were on.
And you brought out your pocket watch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
We've got a super chat here for Ken. Camran, £2. Ken, do you want to go to Chai Wallo with ABC Dosta?
So I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah, I don't know exactly either.
Much
MT85, $5. Man, how long did you wear a COVID mask for, and how many boosters did the government force you to take? I think I had 2. 1 and the booster, 2 or 3 I had, and I thought, that's enough.
I worked for a hospital, and I saw how much that they were suffering just to keep the wheels running, and how hard it was for the medical staff. So I did whatever I could to lighten that load on them.
So you wore a mask a lot?
I wore a mask when I was supposed to.
Yeah.
I didn't care if it worked or not. I just really wanted to like show support for the people that were on the front lines, taking care of all the people that maybe were making those mistakes. I once was in a store, and I saw a lady wearing a mesh mask, and my thought was, way to follow the rules and help no one. You know? So I didn't care. It wasn't a big fucking deal to me, you know, big deal. My wife actually made them for people in our town, you know, frontline workers that, you know, worked in like hospitality and restaurants and stuff, and they really appreciated it. And she got a little picture with the police officers and stuff.
Yeah. Well, here we were never forced to wear a mask, you know, but stores would have the option of saying, you know, mask required.
Yeah.
And actually, early on, when you know, I was completely freaked out, and you know, they were giving the death count every morning, and it was really horrendous. I remember, and this is really not my nature, like to get on somebody's case, but I was at the deli, and there was this old man, and he just fucking refused to wear a mask. And we're at Safeway. Everybody's wearing a mask. It's the rule. And a lady next to him said, "Sir, can you put the mask on? Can you put your mask on, please?" And he just looked at her and went, "Fuck you." And then I stepped in between me and the lady, and I said, "Look, mister, put a fucking mask on. You know, it's required by the store." And he just kind of like you know, gruffed me off, and I got loud. And
why give these minimum wage store workers a hard time? You know what I mean?
This wasn't a worker.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
This wasn't a worker.
We've got a super chat here from MC3. Let's see this Tommy's watch collection. Ken has showed us his watch collection. You may have missed it. We've got Chief Tit, $5. Actually, forget the lifts. Use this towards some 9-inch Jimmy Choos. Jimmy Choos. Thank you, Chief Tit. And we've got another super chat here. Cameron, $2. Mike, you look good. Have you lost weight? Any tips? He's on Ozempic and he's eating less, aren't you, Mike?
Yeah, I've lost 51 pounds now. And yes, I'm on Ozempic, but I've also, during this period of time loss, like 6-8 months, I've completely changed my diet and eating habits and stuff. So it's not it's not solely the Ozempic. Like when I tell people I've lost 50 pounds and they go, "Are you on anything else?" And I say, "Yeah, Ozempic," and then they put it on. "Oh, well, you're on Ozempic." Then they just like.
But it's not that easy. That's just one part of the solution. I honestly don't think there's a big conspiracy saying that all these vaccines were bullshit, and I don't think the vaccines were there to harm you. I think that they actually saved a lot of lives. What's your opinion, Ken?
I had a friend once. He's like, "The vaccine didn't work. I got COVID." And I was like, "Are you in the hospital right now on a respirator?" He's like, "No." I was like, "The vaccine worked." You know what I mean?
Yes.
It lowered the blow. It made it so the hospitals.
Exactly. That's always what it was trying to do.
Right.
Well, with all of my pre-existing conditions, like my artificial heart valve and having diabetes, and I got the main shot and then the booster, you know, after it, and then I was eligible because of my pre-existing conditions for like 1 or 2 extra boosters, which I got. No problems. That was in the beginning. Then I went a year or 2, and then I got COVID. I went through that. It was mild. And then I went back and I got the new, you know, the Omicron version of COVID, the new version.
Sure.
I went and got the new shot for that, and that wasn't a booster. That was a whole new, different inoculation. Right. And to that one, I had a horrible reaction. I'm talking 104 fever. You know, the same reaction I had when I went and got my flu vaccine years ago. I'll never get another one of those either. And yeah, when I got this Omicron COVID vaccine, fuck me, man.
So
yeah,
there is a school of thought that means that if you had gotten it, you would have had it really bad, and so you built up the antibodies to combat it without having to die. But
I think so. I think
I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, and you know, you got people that swear up and down, I never wore a mask once and I never got it, blah blah blah. You know, well, good for you. You know, that's your prerogative.
MP85, $2. What's the definition of a vaccine? What stops you dying?
Well,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
is that what they gave us?
So you don't die. Yeah.
Or, the first one was a vaccine, and then there were booster shots after that.
So we're friends with an anti-vaxxer person, and he didn't take it, and he had Crohn's really bad too, so that's a bad idea. And that guy almost died. He was out of work for like 2 years just because he couldn't walk, you know, because of how bad COVID was for him. You know, religious guy and all that stuff. But I mean, if he had just taken the vaccine, maybe he had 2 years of his life back, let alone.
Yeah.
So we were in Kauai once on a family trip, and we took them one of those little cruise things around Molokai Beach, and there was a black couple there from Detroit, and we started talking with them, and they had lost 50 members of their family to COVID. Now, part of that is because of the really terrible things that were done to Black people, testing medications and testing what would be like giving them syphilis and things like that. And so there's an inherent distrust because of the history. And so they basically are cashing out their savings to do these trips because they're like, fuck it, we've lost most of our family. We're going to live before we die. And so, I mean, to hear that they had lost 50 people, now, I'm sure they had a very large extended family, but still, that's just crazy to me. And, you know, they're not lying to me. Why would they lie about that? You know? So
sure. My doctor told me that the majority of people today that he sees coming in with COVID are...
We got Aussie expat joining the team.
Hey, Aussie. The majority of people that he sees coming in with COVID are minorities that live like, 10 to 15 in a small apartment, like, small enclosed space. One person gets it, goes in and gives it to everybody. And that's basically, that's the majority of what he sees today.
What about just like very tight families too? Like people that just can't not spend time together.
Sure. I had a panic attack at my niece's graduation party at my brother's house, and in the middle of it with 30 people there, I got up and told my brother, took him aside and said, look, I'm having a panic attack. I can't handle being around all this many people, and he understood and I left.
That's very sad. That's very sad. I think that, so recently the Premier of Victoria in Australia, where people were mandated to have booster upon booster and booster and locked down longer than any other city in the fucking world for years in lockdown, this asshole had a stroke just before Christmas. Now, my virtue signal, instead of wearing a mask, which you admitted doesn't work, my virtue signal is to say, I hope none of his family get to visit him on his deathbed, and no one should even attempt to go to his funeral. They should be arrested and put in jail for even attempting to go to his funeral because of the stroke induced by the vaccines. That's my virtue signal. Non-scientific, but just as much bullshit as yours.
Yeah, no, my old boss was adamantly against the vaccine. He thought that they were putting nano.
So you're an anti-vaxxer, Aussie expat? I'm trying to work out.
No, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I take all the vaccines that make sense. All right, I just don't need the government telling people to be locked down to do things that have no basis in science. Fauci admitted all of the masking stuff, all of the social distancing stuff, none of it was scientific. Would you agree with me? Like, would you agree with me? None of it worked.
They said duck, hide, and cover. That's against an atomic bomb. You know what? You know why they did that? Because it made you feel that you're doing something.
Sure.
For the people that didn't need it, they were arrested, Archie.
You know what?
For the people that didn't need it.
Bomb going off, you're not going to do much if you're hiding under a desk.
Nobody got arrested for not dropping and ducking, Archie. No one got arrested for that, fined and separated from their families and couldn't attend their fucking funerals, Archie, over duck and cover. They did over COVID.
I'll bring my analogy. So I worked.
No. First off, do you agree that the masks were made up? That was complete bullshit.
I was told they.
No, I'm not asking you, Mike. I'm not asking you, Mike.
Okay.
Let me say this. I think the masks themselves there, the type of virus that it was, it's not going to, unless you have such high isolation, right? It's impossible. It really is not practical in a globalized world, okay? It was never possible. In hindsight, they should have said, let this fucker get out. Planes are going, buses are going. We will deal with it as a needs basis. I mean, to be honest with you, you're talking about Melbourne. Dictator Dan, I got to be honest with you, Dictator Dan, that was one of the worst states. I don't think he meant to do it to be an arsehole. I think he was trying, but in hindsight, you know, very, very hard thing. You are 100% right there, Ozzy. The only thing I could say in defense of it is, you know, Ozzy, is that they weren't, the laws there were so draconian. You know, they
it was unbelievable.
They were so nasty. It was incredible. But I got to say, to be honest with you, Ozzy, he was also bankrupting the country with the you cannot just close all businesses and keep paying the money to survive. That is unsustainable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, COVID put the world into economic disaster territory.
And we're still feeling the repercussions. And I'm not saying COVID is nothing either. I mean, every single time one of my family members gets sick, I wish upon the brightest star that we can extradite Fauci to China so he can face justice for what he did. Absolute justice is required. Millions and millions of people have died over this. Countless billions lives impacted. Loved ones gone, not being able to see them even before their death. And we have Fauci who's free, pardoned by this piece of shit, President Biden. I'm sorry, the pardon doesn't excuse you from breaking the laws of any other country. So we should ship them off to China as fast as we can. Anyway, back to you. Do you think the masks were complete bullshit? I mean, you said as much. You did it as a virtue signal.
Ones were very ineffective, but I think that masks were basically considered the least we could do, the only thing we can do. And, you know, if next time you have a surgery, if you want your doctor not to wear a mask, that's fine. But I don't understand the harm.
You're conflating two completely different things. You're conflating two completely different things.
I'm saying
completely ridiculous. I won't have you strawman me on that. That's completely fucking ridiculous. That's completely fucking ridiculous.
Why do surgeons wear masks? Because it does.
Because they have bacteria in their mouth that comes out in spit. Fucking COVID was a virus, an aerosol virus, not a bacteria. You moron.
Yeah, well,
1 minute. William Godfrey.
Use your head. Use your head.
I worked at a fucking hospital with a large research group. I went to all the
large research group can't even work out that a mask didn't work.
A
large research group.
Are you an epidemiologist? I listen to the epidemiologist.
I listen to them too. You could see that the size of the virus was smaller
me.
than water vapor.
Doesn't make you a PhD in medicine.
I don't have to be a PhD, you idiot. You are virtue signaling. My virtue signal is I hope nobody ever gets to visit any person who insisted on anyone wearing a mask, that they never get to see their family members ever again. That's my virtue signal.
I don't want you to do heart surgery on me either. You know, I mean, I think I would value.
What's that got to do with it?
Or about
what's that got to do with anything?
This is not about opinions, dude. This is just about science.
Yes, exactly. Science. You're the fucking moron saying that you wear a mask to help prevent COVID. You're the scientist. Oh, I'm going to wear aerosols that are smaller than water vapor.
Well, I was told that the masks helped more protect you transmitting it to somebody else than it did to protect you.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that it protected against anything with respect to aerosol viruses.
Aussie expat, completely correct. Does anyone remember the arrows in grocery store aisles? What the fuck was that?
Our hospital was at 100% capacity during that time, and any measure that could help in any way was the best we could do.
Listen, the only thing that it was
we're not talking about in the moment. I wore a mask in the moment because I was told that that would help. But it turned out we were lied to. We were lied to.
Ozzy, you're right about
always being lied to.
It didn't stop somebody getting it if they were wearing the mask. But what it stopped is that somebody that was already sick from spreading it a lot.
That's
not true. That's not true. The virus was aerosol, and the virus size is smaller than water vapor, and water vapor goes through regular masks.
That's where the cloth masks are not the most helpful, but N95s. Benioff went around and got $500,000.
We weren't asked to wear N95s. They said only people in hospitals are allowed to get those. So if you listened to what you were supposed to do, you weren't supposed to get those.
Yeah. No, in America, you only...
We got JT, $2. Fuck yeah, Aussie expat. You know, Ken, the biggest question I had, whatever happened to Anoxinol 9? Hey, Chief Tit, you remember condoms used to have Anoxinol 9 in them when the AIDS epidemic was on? Anoxinol. We should be up to Anoxinol 67 now.
Yeah.
Anoxinol was for hair loss, wasn't it?
Well, hey guys, it's after 4 for me. So this fucking moron, appreciate all that, is gonna go.
Ken, he's got $10 million. He can't be wrong, Ken.
You proved to me that masks work for COVID. Simple one for you.
I actually, what the gentleman over there just said about, you know, the fact that if you by the way, where I lived, everyone was getting N95s as best they could. You know, they were doing their fine.
Oh, okay, so you were making sure the hospitals couldn't get them. Good for you.
I worked at a hospital, dude. And the hospitals had them by that
You
time.
said everyone. I wasn't talking about you specifically. I'm responding to the statement you made. I've got ears. I listen to you. Virtue signaler. I'll virtue signal and hope that people don't arrive at people's funeral like Dan, the dictator of Victoria. I hope he dies with no family members around him, and everyone who attempts to go to his funeral are arrested and put in prison.
Just hose down your anger. He did hate the Catholic Church. I mean, anyone who hates George Pell... That is a good thing. Okay.
Send private link. If you have evidence that masks work for COVID, just put it in the private chat. I'll say sorry. I will. I'll apologize if that's proven. Completely ridiculous, unscientific bullshit.
Narc, I thought you were withholding. Narc, you just come on here to destroy my panel and fuck off.
Yes, that's my stick. Share screen. Aussie, you're on fire.
But he's stating the most ridiculous debunked shit.
I don't blame you after this.
Yes.
I don't blame you,
Aussie. Not a good day.
Not a good fucking day.
Not a good day.
You're imploding
now
here. Shut the fuck up. This is a Watch Nicholas Tom
Check out Amazon. Check out Amazon.
I know. $40 million. This is great, Aussie.
M16, $2. Bye, moron. Thank you, M16, for your support.
Aussie. It's going to fucking zero. If you realize the fucking chosen people.
Check out
Amazon.
It gets worse. No, it gets worse. Check out Amazon.
No, we can give you the keys to the dungeon. We can give you the keys to the dungeon. $30 an hour. $30 an hour, and 50-50 profit sharing.
Check out Amazon. It gets worse. It gets worse.
I'm loving this. You know why I'm loving this? Because I never got into Bitcoin. I'm loving this.
Check out Amazon. No, check out Amazon. It gets worse.
I had young friends saying to me, "Nah, you should go into Bitcoin," and I fucking resented the fucks. Not resented.
Well, we're recording this. We're recording this. I mean. You not getting into Bitcoin just means you missed it from from $100 to $64,000.
That's why I'm edging here. That's why I got my cock rings on. I've been ringing up my fucking young friends. Shut the fuck up, Archie.
Just sell up. Just sell up now. It's not too late.
I want him to hodl.
Why would I? Nothing's changed.
I want him to hodl.
But nothing's changed. Bitcoin's still good.
Oh, no, buddy. There's no intrinsic value. It's all FOMO. It's a FOMO grift.
I haven't been FOMOing for the last decade.
I love you, buddy. You're my favorite anal scanner, right? I love you. You're my favorite. You're Asperger's, autistic. I don't give a fuck if you are, right? I love you. But your implosion today is embarrassing and funny at the same time. You went after Ken Fresno, one of the nicest gay guys on the Archieverse.
Look, I'm sorry, but his virtue signaling over the masks was disgusting.
You don't get it. The mask was the best thing for some of my friends, the ugly chicks with big noses. They wore a mask.
That's true. That's true.
10 out of 10. I was 10 out of 10. I fucked one, and she wanted to take the mask off. Go, leave it fucking on. Leave it fucking on. You don't get it.
And while you're at it, here's a paper bag.
Shut the fuck up, Mark the Snake. Your stories are not true. You're on the Epstein list, you stupid fuck.
Fuck off.
So the question is now, when are you buying?
Chingal. You're on the type in Mark the Snake on the fucking Epstein.
Dear.
Comes up.
Don't even go there.
What do you mean didn't go there? What does that mean?
You
flew your plane on
the 997, $2, the most epic AC3 show in recent weeks.
Yes, like that. You flew. Hey, buddy, you know why you weren't on the flight logs? Because you flew your own fucking plane. You and your fucking pedo dad.
Come on, that's enough. I'm going to boot you off. Mike the Snake is quality.
Yes, that was aimed at you, Mike the Snake. You flew your plane on that.
You can have a go at Aussie Narc, but you can't have a go at Mike the Snake.
He's also on the Zorro Ranch.
Yeah, whatever.
Nah.
Narc.
That's just a jerk.
You're just a fucking
He
asshole.
is an asshole, Mike.
I mean, that's all we're left really to do is to call him an asshole because he just comes on and.
It's already been established. Chief Tint, hey, go, buddy.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't tolerate assholes. I don't listen to them. I won't be around them.
What do you mean? You tolerate and you come back for more? You fucking gimp.
Nah, what do you think happened to?
Not if you know.
Nah, what do you think happened to Dan Andrews? Nah, what do you think happened to Dan Andrews?
Ozzy, look, I spoke to my friends as a former medical practitioner, right? They weren't allowed to fucking say anything. If they were said anything against COVID, they would be deregistered, right?
100%.
Now, I know a guy who's a heart specialist, right? And he's finding a lot of irregularities. They can't explain a lot of the problems a lot of people are having.
Like Dan himself, he's had a stroke. He's on death's door.
If you look at the fucking Epstein emails, Gates and numerous others said, how do we get rid of the poor people? Did you read those emails? How do we get rid of the fucking poor people? What do we have to come up with to get rid of these fucking brown, fucking poor cunts? It's all manufactured.
Yeah.
I fell for it. I honestly fell for it. I was telling my ex, who's running a business, it affected a business. She lost it. She goes, this is bullshit. She was right, but for the wrong reasoning. She was conspiracy, but her reasoning was wrong, but she was right. Now, when it came to booster shots, I go, no, we're not having booster shots. Fuck the booster shots. Fuck Mark the Snake.
Were you able to escape that? Because I know that the conditions in Australia were very draconian.
No, but it was bad. In our street, My ex was so fucking. She had a party there. She had boom boxes. The cops turned up. They gave her a warning, right? And she still played. She had enough. It was affecting her business, her livelihood.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a friend.
Shut the fuck up, Ozzy. It affected people who had restaurants. As a former restaurateur, I know plenty of people,
100%.
takeaway shops, restaurants who went fucking broke, destroyed fucking families.
Hey,
one of my good friends.
90% of restaurants go broke.
It doesn't matter. No, these were
calm down. We don't have just restaurants. Like I had a friend who killed himself during COVID. He was just like one of the only things he looked forward to each week was.
Let me tell you the other big problem. Hey, it exposed couples who hated each other. They had the buffer, the kids' work, right? When they realized they had to spend time together, they realized, I can't stand this cunt. Example, Archie and his wife. Couples realize they can't stand each other.
It's time for you to fuck off now, Narc, because you're just speaking through your ass. See you later.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, that was a bit of fun there. We've got another super chat just come in. Camran, £2. You got to keep Narc. He brings in the super chats. Yeah, he also burns a lot of people. Jefferson Exotic, $5. Long live Narc. Yes, yes, yes. And Chief Tit, the most feared warlord in all of Tasmania. Mike's 930 was 100% original and ran well. Yes. Thank you.
That's nice.
I agree with you, Mike. Narc is just a fucking asshole.
I'm open to what he has to say, but his delivery is fucking fucked up. You know, when he comes out, you're like, shut the fuck up. Pound, pound, pound what he has to say into your fucking forehead. Mike, I'm not going to fucking take that. I mean, I don't care what you have to say. You come at me like that, you know, you're putting me in a place to not be receptive. Okay.
What does this mean? What does this mean?
No, fuck you, Narc.
You know, I've converted. Hey, shut the fuck up. I've converted to Judaism for the jokes.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Narc. Shut the fuck up, Narc.
Hey, Archie, it's MT85. I was.
Chief Tit, you were going to say something earlier.
Shut the fuck up, Narc. Shut the fuck up, Narc.
Mate, I was just going to ask you just a general question, not about specifics with COVID, right? But the thing that got up that irritated me, and I think it irritates a lot of people, and they're not really explaining it the way they really want to, and that is that the fact that the government and other people can actually dictate to millions of people, you can't leave your home, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's all for your own good. It's all for your own good, all of that sort of business. Now, you might say, well, yeah, I agree with that, and then you do it. But if you happen to be somebody who doesn't agree with it, what gives anybody else the God-given right to tell you got to stay home, otherwise we'll throw you in prison? That, for me...
that's how I put it to my friend as well. Like, the Premier of the state doesn't have the ability to just simply walk out onto the street, point to someone, you're in prison now. No, there has to be a crime. You have to be accused of something. You have to go through court. You have to be proven guilty of that crime. And then you go. It isn't that the Premier is the king. They can't just simply point to people. They couldn't point to one person. They shouldn't be able to point to an entire state and say, you're going to jail.
Ozzy, listen here, you goyim fuck. Right? Just listen here. By the way, that's what that chosen people call us. I've converted Judaism so I can call you a goyim fuck.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear about that?
I don't know if this is...
What? I'm a Jew now. I'm going to kiss the fucking wall.
It was better when you were needling me for Bitcoin, you know. But, I mean, you should look at the Amazon chart. That's even more devastating.
How do you guys feel about that? About the fact that somebody can just sort of dictate that the entire population has to stay indoors because of their particular opinion about something?
I got to tell you
something. It's completely insane. You know, but they decided that...
Can I say this to you? Yeah. The majority of middle-class Australians doubled their wealth because of COVID. It worked. I thank them for it, okay? Seriously, the wealth of most people who owned a property, had superannuation invested, has exploded. Now, admittedly, inflation is a bit of a bitch. We're going to have to deal with that bastard sooner or later. But the reality is, a lot of people, their wealth exploded, Aussie included. Your wealth exploded in COVID. As much as you don't want to admit it, COVID was the greatest wealth booster for you, Aussie.
Well, it didn't explode my wealth.
Now it's exploded.
I don't even know where to begin. I mean, yeah.
Let me say this to you, Chief Tit. Your real estate holdings have more than doubled since COVID.
Yeah, they were going up anyway before that.
They've gone up better with COVID. And, I mean, the free money that came in there. Fuck, if you had an ABN, you was a licensed, just sit back and take the cash.
Look, they didn't lock everybody down so we could make money. That's not their intention. If that's somehow some side effect, all right. But just go back to the actual concept. Do you think it's okay that a government can tell you, Arch, that you can't get up and walk out your fucking front door to walk your dog around the block?
Look, I got to tell you, it's all fucking bullshit, right? The powers that they had in Melbourne were ridiculous. It was mainly the Labor states that were nastiest. Did you know that? And I must admit, you know who I was disappointed with? ScoMo. ScoMo, let's not just blame dictator Dan. ScoMo formed a super ministry. He didn't even tell the ministers of the day that he had also taken their power. That was fucking unconstitutional and wrong. Now, what does Narc want? What do you want, Narc?
You double your wealth during COVID? What's that? Double your wealth during COVID? Maybe you fat fuck. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Your chicken shop, you got paid. You got paid $100 grand a year not to sell chickens. How does that work out for you? Here we go. Super chats are in the stream now. Black Cat $2. Stuffu is a great conversation starter. JT $2. Narc doesn't burn people; he roasts them. Different. Dirk Diggler Stigler Aussie. What militia are you with? Proud Boys. And Jimmy HD $5. Aussie expat. I hate that you tempted me to super chat, but respect for your views. They are spot on and common sense. Thank you. Yes, Narky Poo. Narky Poo. I got to tell you something.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Well,
you did well during COVID.
From COVID. Narky Poo. Let me tell you this now.
It's just
I'm going to tell you this now, Nark.
A lot of people went bankrupt because of COVID. A lot of people went bankrupt.
Hey, Doc, you know I love you, but I've got about 10% with respect. If you say you still support fucking Trump after all this, you're a fucking nut job. You're a bigger nut job than Tommy the Redhead cunt tells me you are. Get the fuck out of here with Trump.
Look,
it's a fucking embarrassment. Those people.
Trump is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
He's you cannot support him. It shows you got no
his popularity is increasing, Narc. What are you talking about?
Hey, Aussie, you retard, right? Are you telling me he's amongst who? Amongst fucking
Democrats and Hispanics.
You have a 3-inch cock, Archie.
Ice baby. Aussie, what's wrong with you?
CNN did a poll.
Hey, that was a troll poll. Hey, that was a troll poll. Like what we have here. That was a troll poll. Are you fucking idiot, Aussie? That was a troll poll.
Look. CNN did a poll for basically Democrats.
90%
whether or not
was a troll poll. They were bots.
Whether or not they wanted illegals to stay in the country.
They're always bots when it goes against your narrative.
55% didn't want illegals in the country, with no exception. They had they could do like, oh, we'll give a pass. Like 55% of Democrats don't want illegals without any exception.
After creating
the reality
riots,
is the American,
everything.
I'm looking forward to the midterms. They're going to be demolished. I'm looking forward to that.
So it's all optics. It's all optics now.
They're both bad. Look, they're both bad, but this has been an embarrassment. And if you support this, you're a fucking bigger nut job. Seriously, I love you. I love you and your racist.
Look, nah, the issue is the left doesn't have a different policy. They say that nobody should be above the law. So why are illegals above the law? Nobody agrees with it, Mark.
Let me repeat my question.
We have American citizens that are homeless on the streets, and we're giving money.
Yeah, shoot them in the head. Shoot them in the head.
We're giving them a monthly stipend.
10 times in the back. Come on, Aussie.
Does any of it make sense?
Trump's popularity with Hispanic voters has gone from 20% to 45% in the last 3 months.
Hispanic citizens.
Yes.
There's
I shouldn't have said voters because we know. Look, it's an optics problem.
Can I ask a question about Americans? Do they can a resident non-citizen vote? Are they allowed to?
Legal.
No, you've got to be an American citizen to vote.
Although certain cities,
but you don't have to vote. It's not compulsory like Australia.
I understand that, but you have to prove
certain sanctuary, certain what they call sanctuary cities.
I know, but if you rock up to vote, right? Just let me ask this question: if you rock up to vote, do you have to have some sort of voter ID where they can tell that you're a citizen?
Well, you need to be enrolled to vote in America.
No.
Democrats don't want voter ID because they want illegals to vote.
So the majority of registrations. Yes, I mean I'll explain. I'll answer your question. The majority of voting in America. The registration occurs when you go to the
Bitcoin. Fuck this. Let me get to Bitcoin. Are you going to hold on? How much have you
The majority of voter registrations occur when someone goes to the DMV to get a driver's license. There is no state in America that requires you to be a citizen to get a driver's license. And there's many states, most states, I think, automatically enroll you unless you tick no to enroll to vote when you go for your DMV, when you get your license. So the reality is most registrations have never proven that they were citizens.
Dirk Diggler, $5. Aussie, you talk funny and look kind of retarded. Let me see your papers. CB, $2. What is political bullshit? Thank you, CB.
Okay.
JT, $5. High inflation causes asset prices to increase. That's not real wealth. If your house doubles in price, so does a burger. There's no wealth creation, except for the person who doesn't have a house. They're doubly poor.
No, but that is inflation, Archie. That's the definition of inflation.
They're doubly poor.
Yeah, but that's how inflation works. Asset holders are held good. You've described inflation to a T, Archie.
It's like McLaughlin report or something.
Yeah. Look, here's what inflation is, Archie. It's when you print money and there's no corresponding increase.
Countries can print money because it's a.
Oh my God.
So inflation is when you print money.
It's a reflection of their invested assets in infrastructure.
It's fiat currency.
Okay? Sovereign nations can print as much as they want.
So inflation is when a country prints money, but there is no corresponding increase in productivity to match the new money, which is exactly what happened in COVID. They reduced productivity and printed the money anyway. So it's just pure inflation.
Oh, you mean like Bitcoin?
There's no way to actually print more Bitcoin.
No, but why does Bitcoin go up in value at all?
Because people decide, just same as gold or silver. People decide that
gold's got inherent value, but Bitcoin's got what?
Absolute rarity.
So what? So does my toenail.
It's just agreed upon by the math.
Anyone can produce my fucking toenail.
It's agreed upon by the math.
Shit. It's just fucking ridiculous, man. You should get out of that crap.
Just like gold. Gold is agreed upon.
Well, even at this price point, I'm still like even at this price point, I'm still a crypto multimillionaire. So it's not that bad.
It doesn't mean it's actually intrinsically worth something.
If you got in at 25 and it drops down to 60, you're still in the black.
Yeah.
It's actually
it's up to you. I mean, I don't know why you would be this passionate about an investment option.
It doesn't require like shitloads of electricity for people to mine it, so it's a complete waste of energy just to fucking create one and all that bullshit. I mean, isn't it fucking stupid?
that's a complicated topic.
But true.
It's true. I won't deny it. But where that electricity comes from has to be in ways that are inherently
Bitcoin. So it's not as if it's circular.
Well, I'm not. You're never going to learn anything if you don't let me finish a sentence.
Most of the energy that's used.
Okay.
Most of the electricity that's used is wasted.
So the amount of Bitcoin that is given to miners is fixed, meaning it's competitive. So to the miner that is able to secure the cheapest electricity goes the spoils. So for example, if you so for example, if you have
you're using electricity to do nothing other than create some false item that's then a commodity to sell.
But electricity around the world is largely wasted. It's wasted in terms of light and heat. It's wasted.
Yeah. So number one, the energy that Bitcoin uses may not have existed to begin with. So for example, if you have solar panels in the desert, trying to get that energy back out to the grid may be very problematic. And maybe the closest city doesn't actually even have an energy deficit to use that solar supply.
Oh, shut
Instead,
up.
they can put...
That's ridiculous. The whole fucking argument you're making is stupid. Yeah, it's
no, this is the core problem of...
decided that this thing's worth something.
Can we agree? Can we agree that less than 1% of the electricity used around the world is used to mine for Bitcoin? Can we at least agree with that?
What does that
mean? I got a super chat here. I got to catch up on some super chats. We've got CB $2, Bitcoin, retire, Addy, update your resume. 8. He says Bitcoins, retire. Aussie expat, update your resume. Black Cat 9972 $2.
I might do that.
Cut off for being anti-Bitcoin 50. And Clyde $5. I apologize for saying expat. Aussie expat has the same hairstyle as the mum in that 70s show.
Thank you, Clyde. I accept your apology. So, Chief Tit, you kind of moved from a different argument from electricity use to what is the fundamental use for that electricity.
There's another downside to it, other than the fact that it's not intrinsically worth anything. It's actually costs a lot of money on people using electricity to create it, to mine that shit. So it's all bad. I just don't understand the point of it.
Can we agree that the electricity used to mine Bitcoin is less than 1% of the electricity used around the world? Can we at least agree that?
That's 100%. That's 100%. And it's usually the least effective 1% too.
If it uses $100 worth of electricity, it's still a fucking waste. What's the point of it?
Well, we've got OnlyFans, and we've got.
No, there's no reason, because it's a fucking.
So, Chief Tit,
it's the human.
You're trying to understand the core value premise.
I say
you just said if you use $100 worth of electricity, it's a waste.
This is really rare, guys. This is really rare, and it's magnificent. You just put it on your mantelpiece, and it'll be a great fucking showstopper and a fucking conversation starter. And every fuckwit in the world suddenly believes I'm right. Guess what? This is going to go up in value.
Okay, Chief Tit. Okay, yes, I agree with you. Yeah, Chief Tit, I want to buy that off you right now. Yeah, no, Chief Tit, hold it up. I'm going to buy that off you right now.
Yeah.
For $500. I'm going to send you, and I'm going to complete that transaction using Bitcoin because I can.
No, you can't, because I won't take your fucking $600 in Bitcoin because I don't agree it's worth anything. I'm on currency, cunt.
Well, you can either accept a real currency like Bitcoin for your super glue, or you can keep the super glue.
It's fucking ridiculous. You know what's ridiculous?
Have you ever had to transfer money overseas, like to Greece?
Many times.
And it's a pain in the ass and full of fees, right? And takes a lot of time.
Yeah, but they can fix that. They don't have to fucking do that. I mean, you don't have to get the Bitcoins and mining it and shit.
No, but the reason it's broken isn't because of technology.
There's big buildings in the middle of nowhere sitting there generating electricity so they can mine Bitcoin. You think that's okay? That's fucking mental. What's wrong with you people?
The alternative is far worse. The alternative is far worse. The alternative is all the fiat money that we keep printing.
He used to never have Bitcoin. There was no problem.
No, we do have problems. I like here's a problem, Chief Tit. World War II. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Do you really think any of these countries? Do you think any of these countries?
World War II. Yes, this is a great one. Lecture me on
that.
Do you think? Get ready. If it was for Bitcoin, we wouldn't have World War II.
Do you think without the ability to print money, any of these countries would have engaged in strategic warfare, multi-year wars, ideological wars?
What about? It's got nothing to do with printing money. You think people in the 40s
it does.
Printed dollars?
It 100% does. If the government has to raise funds from people's coffers directly to fund a war, believe me, not many people are going to pay. I'd give a single dollar for Ukraine and no more. But how much are we printing for Ukraine? Hundreds of billions of dollars.
With Bitcoin.
Well, I'm going to interject to say that after United States went off the gold standard, I agree with you, Ozzy, that happened with the wars and everything. Before that, though, they had to do bond. They had to do.
Black Cat 997, $5. The electricity use provides the security and the value. Ozzy is on fire tonight.
Well, it's not even a point arguing because Chief Tit already said if you're spending $100 mining Bitcoin, that's too much. So if that's too much, then just quit arguing about it. You're wasting your time.
What are you talking about? What sort of stupid argument's that? Where's the logic in that?
You said $100.
That's what you said.
You said $100 was too much. So why are you even arguing, you guys? Quit arguing. You're never going to agree. If $100 is too much to spend on electricity, then you're never going to agree. You just aren't.
So, Chief Tit, the first time I used Bitcoin was I had my DNA sequenced by 23andMe. Retrospectively, not a great idea.
Not a good idea, but anyway.
I downloaded my DNA data, and then I found a black market service that will analyze your DNA and look for any markers indicating risks and diseases. And the problem was that kind of analysis is not FDA approved. So this all had to be done as basically a crime. But to do that sequencing takes like a few dollars in compute to execute. So for the cost of about $50, I was able to get my full DNA sequence cross-referenced across every single known risk and disease. And that kind of service is not possible without Bitcoin. As an example, the very first thing that I ever did way back in like early 2014. Bitcoin has real uses, but they're not mainstream. I agree with you. They're not mainstream.
Before you go on and accept that I've accepted what you've said, just back the fuck up a bit. What do you mean that it wouldn't be available if it wasn't for Bitcoin?
Because it's illegal. They couldn't accept a credit card online.
Hold on, before you march on. You're saying the benefit of Bitcoin is that you can obtain illegal services. That's what you just said.
That's one of the benefits, and it makes the world go round.
Can you believe that fucking argument? Let's do this because you know what? You can't trace it and we can get illegal services. That's great.
But the definition of what is illegal and legal in different countries varies. If you wanted to get money...
The whole point of having a government and having laws is so that we can, as a society, function within certain parameters. Like
not everyone lives in a...
I can't go and hire a fucking hitman because generally speaking, it's against the law. But hey,
not everyone lives in a country in which we agree with the government.
Oh,
so what if you had family that lived in Russia? How would you deliver value to them if they lived in Russia?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You're lucky to have you're lucky to have a family that lives in Greece. The system works for you.
You're saying to me that the benefit is that you can circumvent laws. Unbelievable.
That's a very good benefit.
That's a very good benefit. Yeah, if you're a criminal,
it depends. It depends what your circumstances are.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. All the criminals out there get Bitcoin. Otherwise,
I highly recommend that. Yes. And anyone who thinks that they may become persecuted by their own country, get Bitcoin. Anyone who thinks that their country is becoming draconian and authoritarian, get Bitcoin. Do you remember the truckers in Canada?
I'm with you about the fucking masks on COVID, I agree. But if you're saying that Bitcoin benefit...
more super chats. I got to catch up. Mr. 17, $2. It's no wonder these Bitcoin guys are all broke. And we got Jeff the Pilot, $5. Chrono 24 has 3 2026 Pepsis, 11 26 Pan Daytonas. Why would Rolex do this? Sounds like inventory is almost dried up. Thoughts? No.
Is this real?
We're only to 2026.
Wow.
That's when the card.
Does David FW have a Pepsi?
No, these are 2026 ones he's talking about. Jeff,
yeah, which are normally the bulk of the. No, but normally the newest current. But we've only had like 1 month, so yeah, who knows?
Only February.
But what we got on today, we're going anti-Pepsi today.
Batman.
America, we say auntie.
Sounds like inventory. Why would Rolex do this? Sounds like I don't agree with you, Jeff. That's just how many are on chrono.
It's not a bad. To me, that's not a bad. It's not a bad metric. However, there's only 1 month so far, and don't Panda Daytonas. Maybe they had a batch in January and they didn't have a batch of Pepsis in January. Maybe the batch is coming out right now.
You know how they had that official pre-owned sort of thing sold by Rolex, that Rolex sells official pre-owned ones that they've sorted out.
Yes.
Yeah. Have they extended that to Australia, or is that just where is that? Who has that?
It's definitely in America. I can't speak for Europe or Australia. But it comes down to the dealers. It comes down to the dealers. So if you know an AD that already does pre-owned as well alongside of their Rolex new AD, then they're very likely to become a CPO seller. But I don't think there are any ADs in Australia that sell secondhand Rolexes as well alongside their new stock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not aware of any. I'm just wondering, is that something that we're going to roll out worldwide to all their ADs, or just like
it's something that happened more in reverse. So the ADs in USA and Europe, some of them would already do this secondhand, buying and selling of Rolexes. This was a way for them to add value to that business.
Yeah, I know that.
So,
if they actually
but what I'm saying is you're not going to see it from ADs that have never engaged in secondhand selling of watches.
Oh, I see. So, but I thought it was only going to be from their own, the stores that Rolex owned themselves.
It is, but what I'm saying, the process is the AD is already engaging in secondhand sales. Right. Then they apply to say, how can we make our inventory of secondhand watches CPO? And then Rolex charges them a certain amount of money and so on and so forth.
Happen with anybody in Australia then?
If there's an AD in Australia that does secondhand sales, then I would say very likely. I would only hazard a guess that there isn't one. And it's not like every AD in America does secondhand sales or CPO. Certainly no boutique does. My AD definitely does, but it's not a boutique.
Your AD does?
Yeah. They're Booker, like they're #1 for CPO. They rolled out first, but they've always been doing secondhand sales.
Is there any in Australia that you're aware of, Arch, that do that?
I honestly don't support it. I think it's these dealers that they're trying to. It's like Ferrari pissed off because secondhand Ferraris, there is a secondary market. Ferrari gets really angry because they think they should have their snout in every possible trough.
Yeah.
And the big proviso is that they're not really collector focused. They're more I typically like my Rolexes to be original dial to the watch, whereas they sometimes will put service dial, service parts in. It's a real mess. It's a mess.
I see. So the ones that they resell don't necessarily match up with how a collector would want something that's old. They just put newer stuff on.
And also they tend to be way overpriced.
Yeah.
Way over. We got a super chat here. Jimmy $5. Good show art, spirited debate. And we got Madman, $5. Active listening is a significant sign of real intelligence. Emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and cognitive control. You see, you understand. And Jeff,
I didn't want to come in here angry.
Get your Pepsi, guys. This is the year it goes away for a while, like it did in 2017. It's 2007 to 2014. 2018 for stainless steel. I'm not so sure about that.
It was a long stretch. It could, like, I think it's, I don't really believe the rumors that much, but it's plausible that there's a new GMT Master 2 at Watches and Wonders. It's always possible.
What, another color?
Are you going Aussie expat?
No, no. It wasn't very much fun last year, at least not for me. And no one else is going.
You got sick, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. But I also couldn't get a ticket into the thing. There was a thing on the first night that I could have got into, but obviously, it just felt like I was watching the sausage being made. It wasn't that much fun. The most fun I had was going to CERN.
I thought you could buy tickets there.
Yeah. No, you couldn't.
No?
No, but I did get an invite to via Zenith, but I wasn't able to make that time. I was crook. But from what I could see, it wasn't, I mean, I would have only been able to go outside of show hours, you know, so.
What Zenith would you be interested in?
No, they were hosting a cocktail evening.
Because you were sick. You can't blame the event because you happen to be sick. The world doesn't revolve around you.
But I couldn't even get in. Like outside of the Zenith thing, which would have been after hours anyway, where if all the booths closed, I wouldn't have seen anything even if I was well.
Okay.
But it was fun seeing everyone. But with nobody else going, there's no reason to go.
Tom was good, but I preferred Bust Out magazine.
Everybody has their preferences. That's the nice thing about this world.
Hustler.
No, Hustler is a little too explicit.
That's what I like. Not like this Playboy stuff.
What's up, BBW Vixen?
Vixen was an interesting cover. So
Is it me or were all the women back then a bit more sort of sexy? I don't know. There's something about them a bit more. I don't know.
The one on this
pre-AI.
It was
yeah, I think the normalness of them was what was hot.
Well,
interesting.
I think she was enhanced, just to be fair. But I don't know that for sure. I just believe it was.
Well, the blue lines are there. I can't really see where the enhancement part is, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Aussie expat, if Bitcoin continues falling, would you go back to paid work?
Oh, we're back to Bitcoin.
No. I've got enough in other investments, although those other investments are not doing that great today. That's more disheartening. Everything's down. Down hard.
But it doesn't stay down.
But I plan for it. It doesn't stay down forever. I planned for it.
You only lose money.
I've got about 2 years worth of cash, and all of the Bitcoin I'm going to convert into a Roth. And with the lower prices, it means I can convert more Bitcoin into Roth. So I've planned for it. I mean, that's what I set up last year. Is I said, look, I'll put it in Bitcoin in the 401k. That way, if it goes up, it goes up. If it goes down, I can convert more of it.
You should feel better about the market by talking about the Epstein files.
Right. That's always a pick me up. That's always a pick me up.
Yeah.
I've got to be somewhere.
I can't understand these Epstein files. Why is it so grubby? Why are these? Hey, Chief Tit, thank you for coming on, man. Thank you. Why is these Epstein files so grubby? Why do people
Why were the elites working so hard to keep them secret?
I know. Why was this withheld for 3 administrations?
Yeah.
Or is it for?
Why so hard? Why working so hard to keep it a secret from everyone? It's like the JFK files. You could make the same argument.
Obama, Trump, Biden, they all hid this stuff from everyone.
Yep.
They thought America was the place where we protect pedophiles, and now the people are discovering what the elites were up to.
I think they were protecting more than just that. It's like, you know, they were talking
Intelligence
about
assets.
But yeah, and
you've met these elites, Ozzy, haven't you? With your wealth class, you've met many of these elites.
No, not even close.
Have you met any of the three in my avatar?
No.
Cinda,
yeah.
You've never.
No, Archie, wealth doesn't make you elite.
CB $2. Bust out is the only one I saw triple Z boobs.
You know that it's almost like Alien magazine sometimes. It's almost like it's not even. Is this a real woman or what?
Wow, we got some real magazine fans here, aficionados.
If you see 3 Z's like that, okay, that tells you you've just gone overboard. Stop injecting. You can, it's enough is enough. CZZ.
Yeah. Yeah, Archie, there's a difference between being wealthy and being elite. And you don't have to be wealthy to be elite. Think of like lords and stuff like that in England. It happens a little less in America because typically the elite are so brash here in America that they end up being super wealthy regardless of the fact that it's confusing as to how they would have got such wealth being career politicians. But yeah,
well, I think in this country you can become rich enough to become elite, or you are born into it.
It's true, or you're the counter elite. So you aren't the elite, but you have lots of money and influence, but it's not that type of influence. Take Bill Gates as like the prime example. By the time he finished up with Microsoft, stopped being the CEO, he was the richest man in the world, but he had no influence. Zero influence. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, plus his connections with Epstein, was all about becoming an elite. And then by COVID, he's telling people what they have to do with their bodies. Before he made software. Now he's telling us what to do with our bloody vaccines.
His parents had a little bit of clout, but they weren't at the top. But they did have a little bit of clout.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I mean, compared to what he became.
Right. He wanted more.
Yes. Yeah. The whole retirement shtick wasn't really him retiring. It was about him clamoring for the next level, which wasn't money. He was already number one. It's about clamoring to become elite, highly influential, admired.
Both of his parents were eugenicists, so I'm sure he might be. I mean, because both his parents were. So I don't know.
Isn't that like Mark Goldberg? He's got a Genesis as well.
We haven't done any car talk. We've hit pillars, but you guys haven't even touched the car stuff. You're done with the watches, it sounds like.
In 50 years' time, Doc, do you think they'll still be wearing watches?
I think so. I really do think
they're about as relevant now as they are in 50 years, right?
I mean, remember the quartz crisis and people thought, nobody's going to care about watches anymore. And here we are.
It did kill off most watch brands, though. I mean, the quartz crisis wasn't nothing. It did kill off most brands. Nothing
for the particular companies, but the prediction that it was going to all just kind of go away was not true. Or that it was all going to go away and replaced by quartz. Also not
right.
True.
Things are sticky, aren't they?
Yeah, we got CB, $5. You thought my avatar was my watch. In reality, it is my picture. I am a bit lady boobs dependent.
Looking at it as not a watch, it does seem very excited, the avatar right there.
Yeah. I suspect he's touching something. I don't know what, but he's touching something.
Guys, I want to thank you guys for coming. It's time to wrap this up. I want to say thank you, especially everyone who super chatted. We had some great. Don't worry, Ozzy. Everything will be fine, okay? Bitcoin will come back.
It's not my first rodeo. Yeah, it's not
Sorry?
my first rodeo. It's not my first rodeo. I've gone through about 4 or 5 of these things.
It's dipped down to
What's funny is seeing people expecting me to like care. It's like Bitcoin didn't change. The CEO didn't get caught in a sex scandal. Bitcoin CEO, sex scandal. Like, oh no, bad investments, like, which is what's happening to Amazon right now, unfortunately.
Oh, there's
like,
an
that's far
Amazon
more
sex
concerning.
scandal? I didn't hear about that.
No. Basically, they announced a $200 billion AI infrastructure plan, and they've lost like 20% of their market cap within the last 24 hours. But that's a real thing, as in something actually changed. The price is warranted. The Bitcoin of October last year is the same Bitcoin today as it was 2014. You know, the idea that I would care about a price movement on Bitcoin, literally Bitcoin didn't change. Nothing changed.
I think we're getting super chats here, Archie.
Archie, we've got a super chat here. Morphus, $2. Help Ozzy by giving him a job at the dungeon.
I could use that. 1 Bitcoin per session, please. I would love that. 1 Bitcoin per session. It's cheap. It's worth nothing.
Because it's dropped down. The prices dropped. So
yeah, the prices like it's gone to the floor. Like Archie, if you lock in 1 Bitcoin per session now, I'll commit to a year. By the end of the year, you'll be paying me nothing. It'll be worth less than a Big Mac.
Very, very interesting. Let's thank our super chatters. We had Frank V, M16, Chief Tit, Cam Ran, MT85, M16, Chief Tit, Camran, MT85, William Gaudrian. We had Black Cat 997, JT, M16, Black Cat, Camran, Jefferson Exotic, Black Cat 997, JT, Dirk Diggler, Jimmy, Dirk Diggler, CB, Black Cat 997, Clyde, Black Cat 997, Mr. 17, Jeff the Pilot, Jimmy, Madman, Jeff the Pilot, CB, and Morphus. Guys, that's the show. We will be back tomorrow. Please come again, guys. We love you all. See you later.
Where are you?
Hi, guys. It's ArchieLuxury. Guys, I want to talk to you about David SW. David SW. Guys, if you are in America, if you are looking for a Rolex watch of your dreams, in fact, if you're looking for a contemporary modern wristwatch, I strongly advise you to look at David SW. Guys, don't play the dealer games. Don't bring in chocolates or Krispy Kremes for your dealer hoping to get a Rolex at retail. It's futile. Please, guys, save your dignity. Keep some pride. Go to David SW. I would highly recommend David SW. If you're in America and you're looking for a watch, go to David SW.